Greetings! What is up, and everyone? Welcome to the channel. The sun is shining, and the Magpie is casting. Coming to you guys right now with what is about to be some live Company of Heroes 2 casting. Good to see you there in chat, creative name. Ooh, zing. Yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he? Where was Midday Magpie? Bro, we changed the schedule. Let me show you. There you go. We're on the evening casting on Wednesday and Friday at the moment. Yeah, that's where I've been. Let's try and get that. There we go. Yeah, dude, what a scorcher it has been in England today. Like, just beaming, glorious, radiant sunshine, well over 30 degrees C outside. And, geez. I'm knackered. I am knackered. I've done quite a lot of work today. Had some fun as well, but I've done quite a lot of work. And even had some spare time to clean the motorcycle. So she is shiny. It is awesome. What's up, Jono? Good to see you there, friend. Right, let's see what games we've got available. So we've got... oh, okay, interesting. You know, I don't often get to cast Novigrad Outskirts, so I think I'm going to jump into this one to start. My motorcycle is a she? Well, it sure as hell ain't a he, buddy. Yeah. I mean, I think anything that gives me a good ride, it's probably going to associate more of a sort of female kind of aesthetic. Because I am of the heterosexual, like, nature. You've got an SV650? Nice! Jesus, those are lovely. Yeah, one of my mates has got one of those. They're real nice, Jono, real nice. All right, then. Anyway, let's get into the game here. Here we go. Alrighty then, so spawning in the north, playing as the Wehrmacht pieces. Here on Novigrad Outskirts, it is going to be Forsworn, who is going to be trying to play a German infantry style. And spawning in the south, as the Soviet forces, it's going to be the Armoured Assault tactics of Ruka ACL's Bulat, something or other. So yep, those are the two players that we're going to have in this opening game. And I'm hoping that it's going to be a spicy one. Forsworn is Orange Pest. Well, there we go. Thank you very much, creative name. I did check the Steam profile like URLs, but couldn't divine any more information. So that's good knowledge there. Thank you very much, creative name. What's up, A Game? Good to see you there as well, my friend. Actually, A Game, that reminds me. I need to talk to you about finding some Deserts of Karak replays because I had a quick look earlier, but I'll Discord you about it. I'll Discord you. Okay, a German infantry doctrine attempt is what we're going to see here. And as this game gets underway, it occurs to me that my window's not open, and it is devastatingly hot at the moment, so I'm just going to go and open that. Hang on. Oh! You won't be on the midday streams anymore, A-Game. Going back to the office tomorrow. Oh, okay. How about these evening streams? Are they any good for you? Yeah. So, okay, yeah. German infantry doctrine is going to be the Wehrmacht approach here, and I am still a little bit skeptical about this commander. Okay, wicked, A-Game. Okay, cool. Well, I reckon moving forwards, I'm probably going to be doing 2 evening streams and 1 midday stream. That's what I think. Just because the evening streams seem to suit everybody better, myself included, really, because work is getting kind of busy-ish now. So, we're probably going to do Monday midday Magpie, because that's alliterative as hell, and I can't resist it. And then Wednesday and Friday, I think we'll do evening streams. But I'll have a think about it, because moving forward, I mean, I might just do evening streams. I'm not entirely sure. I really like casting at midday, because there's something nice about getting up, doing a little bit of work, having breakfast, and then just jumping on and doing the casting. Whereas when I cast in the evening, like today, it's just been like a ridiculous day of like slogging through emails and driving around in hot sun traffic, and then, you know, just dealing with a load of stuff. And then I sit down on my computer and I'm like, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? I'm like a little bit more spent. So I don't know. But then we do get different players, and I can actually just engage with more of my audience in the evenings, and you know, it doesn't sort of mess with like doing work in the day. So it swings and roundabouts. So yeah, we're going to try Wednesday, Friday casting in the evening, and Mondays casting at midday. That's the plan right now. Blood Yay Balls. Magpie, do you only cast 1v1? I mean, it's not a rule. I have cast 2v2. I will cast 2v2. But I tend to prefer 1v1 for a number of reasons. Yeah, but I would cast 2v2s, yeah. I know that there's a lot of 2v2 tournaments and stuff going on all the time, so I think 2v2 is probably in a totally different place than it was when I left it. So yeah, I'm totally open to casting some 2v2. You got a portable air conditioner the other week. You lucky son of a bitch. That's pretty awesome. Christ, actually, after this game, I'm going to go upstairs and grab my fan now I think about it, because it is so hot at the moment. Man, England, we are not used to this kind of... This is June, for God's sake. It's not supposed to be this insane yet. Christ. The thing about 2v2, yeah, I mean, it does often end in blobbing. The thing about casting is it's nice to try and bring a cohesive narrative and tell the story of what actually happened in a game to help my own understanding and also anyone who's watching. And in 2v2, it's much more likely that I miss crucial game-changing moments off camera because there's just so much action going on. It's like absolutely, like, just there's so much action going on. You think I miss a lot of unit wipes now? Wait until I try and cast a 2v2, like, bro, like, you know? So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why 2v2 is more challenging from my point of view. Yeah. There's 2 blobs in 2v2 instead of 1. Actually, there's 4 blobs in 2v2 instead of 4. Maybe. So, okay. Looks like the half track is out, and I mean, this has been a pretty typical opening game so far. Forsworn slightly on the back foot, Soviet forces, conscript-based opening, support weapon Campanile, keeping the German infantry player contained, but now that the 250 half track has arrived and the flamethrowers finished on the pioneers, now things are looking a little bit better for Forsworn here. And he's going to break out onto the map, try and get some work done. And this is basically a super standard looking Wehrmacht versus Soviet forces that we're experiencing right now. Wait, has ACL Bliet done anything crazy like lose a conscript squad? Okay, cool. Just making sure it wasn't a quad conscript that he's lost one of. I didn't think it was, but there we go. Good to be sure about these things. So yeah, pretty standard game so far. Panzer Grenadier is going to be getting thrown in. MG42 out on the field. Why don't Soviet players build Maxims like just until like so late on these days? I know the Maxim isn't the best machine gun, but it's still a good machine gun. It's still a machine gun. Machine guns are good. I don't understand why we don't see so much Maxim. It just supports your dudes really well because it makes your opponent's infantry worse. You know? Especially on a map like this. I mean, there's loads of chokes, there's decent buildings, you know, getting a Maxim into a decent place can be game changing. I don't know. It's not like we see no Maxims. Oh! My god! Those engineers got rinsed! Did you see how quickly they went down? It was like instant. Jesus, the RNG or something on that machine gun burst was just nuts. Did you guys see that? They just died in a heartbeat from 4 models. Whew. Alright, 250 half track. Jesus. That is... We're on notice now. Alright, Jono. Yeah, I do see your point. It does kind of give you a slow start. Engineers have to wait to build the attack. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, perhaps it's because for the longest time, like when I started playing Company of Heroes 2, I just played like Wehrmacht only for like a long time, and then I played OKW only for like a long time. Like, I'm talking years here. So I have a very weapon team centric view of the game, at least the early game anyway, and I find it hard to think about approaching the early game without a Maxim. But there is going to be a Maxim out on the field now, so Bullat going to go for one of those. Wow, Forsworn here with the triple cap actually, going to reverse the scoreline situation. Wow. really changing things around, to be honest. Going to get double munitions, a rare and vital luxury here for Sworn. That's going to mean a lot of G43 and 5-man Grenadier squads here. So I think combined with the success of the 250 half-track, this has been a good 8 minutes for German infantry doctrine. Absolutely doing German infantry doctrine things here. And Armoured Assault Tactics, obviously, is more of a late-game commander. It doesn't really give you any benefits for the first 10 minutes or so. I mean, okay, you get the radio intercepts, okay. But beyond that, I suppose you might go for the vehicle crew if you had a T-70, the vehicle crew repairs. I suppose it can benefit you in the first 10 minutes, but you cannot argue that this is an early-game commander. So Balat here is going to have to wait a little bit for his commander's prowess to develop in this game. And Forsworn almost firing on all cylinders. I mean, this 250 half-track with the Panzer Grenadiers is doing work. These conscripts in a terrible place. He's going to donk it with the anti-vehicle grenade. Actually gets the kill. Nicely done. Was that off of a Zis gun? Did the Zis gun get a shot into that? I think it did. I'm not sure. Looked like it. Oh, what is this that's going on in chat? Maxim is such a cutie. Max, you always get the MG42. Blah, 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 blah. You're wrong otherwise. Okay. Okay. Good. Cool. And the Soviet player, in a bad way now, has lost a squad of conscripts off camera somewhere. Going to be going for a T-70, but this is not an especially early T-70. And the pack gun is going to be well timed for this kind of a T-70, at least here from Force 1. And we're down a squad of engineers and a squad of conscripts. So this Soviet army looks small, and it is becoming seriously outmatched. The G43s, the veteran squad leaders, Panzer Grenadiers, all pretty spicy units. This is going to be tough going for a little while here for Balat. We'll see if he's going to be able to sort of stabilize a little bit. Does still control one of the fuel points for now. Maxim is going to be garrisoning that one. Well, overwatching that one. And does control one victory point. So 60 ticket. No, sorry. That is a 78 ticket lead. For our Wehrmacht player, a rare luxury to have for the Wehrmacht at the 10-minute mark. But that's what we're going to have. Actually, you know what? It's not that rare. But still, it's nice to have. T-70 here, finally going to hit the front, and we'll see if that's going to be able to reverse Balat's fortunes in this game. Yeah, Jono, you see, you say that, but MGs covering each other's flanks is a real thing. It does help. Alright, so the Maxim on Overwatch here proves useful. Manages to displace, wow, that's what, 480 manpower? No. How much are Panzer Grenadiers these days? I know they've been changed. Manages to displace 460 manpower's worth of German forces there. Very nicely done. That's some good value to be obtained by the Soviet machine gun. Nice to see that just after I was saying, hey, Soviet players should use more Maxims, it's nice that in this particular example of a game, the Soviet Maxim is shining. Am I right in thinking that the Maxim gun, it's a British design, right? They sold the design to the Soviets in like after World War One. I'm pretty sure I'm right in thinking that. Isn't it essentially very similar to the Vickers gun, but the Vickers has like the water cooling sleeve on it? Am I right? I might be wrong about that. I'm sort of stretching for my knowledge there, but still, it is a World War One gun. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, my understanding is it's British designed, and then we sold the plans, or we sold the manufacturing, or we basically gave it. We exported that to Russia, and the Vickers is like incredibly similar, if not the same gun. I don't know. Is it the same gun? I think it might just be the British name for it or something. I don't know. I think the Vickers has like a slight upgrade. I seem to remember it has like a really like primitive water cooling system on it or something. Okay, maybe it is the same gun. Somebody else in chat, Bloody A Balls, seems to agree. It's not exactly the same, but very similar. Okay. Huh, fair enough. Oh my god. Okay, sorry, no, I thought, for some reason I thought that was Soviet forces getting wiped out by those mines. It's not, it was Grenadiers tripping on some mines. Okay. Alright, well that's okay for now, but here comes the Panzer IV. Appropriate camo, loving it. And that's going to be tricky. 1 Zis gun, 3 sources of anti-tank grenades, some munitions there to help as well for Blatt, but this is going to be a good Panzer IV. I mean, it has many great targets here. The T-70 will have to try and fade the German Panzer. Oh, hang on, Maxim. Oh, he has to reload at a crucial moment. Oh, he does get the MG42. Nice. Unlikely to be able to retrieve that hardware, but still nice to wipe the veterancy and make your opponent have to work to get it back. If you could put down a Zis gun barrage on it if you're feeling turbo cheeky. Oh god, is he actually focusing that down with the Zis gun? Oh, well, that's pretty sick. No, he's focusing... Sorry, it's the German player who's focusing it down with the pack gun. Fair enough. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, no. The Panzer IV comes out of Fog of War straight on top of the Zis gun. So that's going to be really rough for Balat. This was the one thing we didn't want to happen. And the T-70 is going to scramble here. Look at me! I'm a distraction! Ah, oh, Panzer IV, you probably want to shoot me! There we go. Nicely done. Somehow the Zis gun comes out of that alive, but this Panzer IV is just going to be a bit of a lawnmower here for Forsworn. It's going to be absolutely cutting down Soviets here, and another Zis gun is forced. And that is kind of almost 320 man-powers worth of damage in a way that this Panzer IV is inflicting, forcing your opponent to go for another Zis gun. And, I mean, the Zis gun is powerful, and it will deal with Panzer IVs, but it is kind of a liability. It doesn't help you out in the infantry fights. Your opponent can steal it, and it is very fragile, so you definitely... Introducing more Zis guns into your opponent's composition is kind of a nice thing that Panzer IVs do force. What does the 4th skill of Wehrmacht do? This one? Assault and hold. Well, it does that stuff what you can see on the screen there, my friend. Infantry squads take and hold, increasing their offensive ability and the speed at which they can seize territory. So basically increases accuracy and the capture rate of infantry squads. So that's pretty good. 70 munitions for DPS buff and capture speed buff for, what was it, 45 seconds? Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. But the Soviet army here under the Nazi jackboot and desperately scrambling to try and reclaim some map presence. 303 tickets and bleeding, but not too fast. And we are, of course, still holding a fuel point and a victory point. So Balat will very likely have a shot at this in the late game, perhaps albeit from a disadvantaged position. But this ought to be, as long as they can keep holding these 2 points, then things are okay. And I like leaving the Zis gun here as well. Where's the Maxim? I wouldn't even mind leaving the Maxim up there as well, because that's the key position that you have to defend here as the Soviets. So 12 command points needed, of course, for the IS-2. You also need the mechanized armor Campanaya, so that also needs to come down. So no chance of the mighty IS-2 getting him out of this bind in the immediate future. And this is not really a commander that gives you guards or shocks or any sort of spice or anything like that. It does give you the mighty combination of IS-2 and the IL-2 Sturmovik attack, so that's really good. That is ace. It is, as far as I know, the only Soviet commander which combines those 2 abilities, and it is super powerful, but I think that makes this the latest game commander that Soviets really have. It's such a late game commander, and the Panzer IV is going to come in deep here. The Zis gun's frantically tracking, trying to cut some holes. The anti-vehicle grenade does connect. All right. Oh no, but the Flammenwerfer is up on top of this Zis gun, so no shots will be taken from that one. But this Zis gun over here, trying to be the hero that Balat needs to stay in this game. The T-70 as well, somehow alive. Oh god, Panzer IVs are really good against infantry. That was a 5-man conscript squad. Died in less than a second. Nice stuff. And now the Panzer IV, it's not actually dead. We don't have enough munitions. Oh no, we do have enough munitions. Come on, conscripts, what are we doing? Oh no, we can't be letting this Panzer IV sneak away. There's about to be a second Panzer IV. Oh god. Oh no, the Panzer IV sneaks away on a pixel. I feel like for sure that was like an oorah 18-aid moment, but it's not going to happen. And now stormtroopers are lurking in the smoke with MP40s. They're going to start ripping into these conscripts, and the Panzer IV is... Oh, okay, sorry, he does get the Panzer IV. Alright, nice work. Nice, okay, cool. Alright, so we pick up the Panzer IV, and that is essential. That is kind of mandatory for Balat to stay in this game. And, oh my god, the fuel point is now actually cut off, and the victory point is decapped. So, despite picking off the Panzer IV, the status quo kind of remains similar. We still have a Panzer IV, it's still a massive problem. We still have a really good German infantry kind of force here. And this is going to be really rough. Now, double Zis gun is decent, and the Maxim is decent. And there is the distant ray of hope that an IS-2 may rumble over the horizon at some point and turn this around, but that is a way away from that. And we keep falling further behind. We're under this triple cap now, so 235 and ticking rapidly. This is going to be a difficult game for the Soviet player. Absolutely not unwinnable, but this is a difficult position. And these conscripts are just so outmatched. This Soviet army is just so outmatched. Oh my god, he's going to try and challenge mid. Nope, get back, son. Maxim got in a nice position, though. Hey! Isn't this Maxim looking good? Didn't I say Maxims were good? Nice. It's always nice as a caster when you say or suggest something, and then it goes on to actually do that thing. Sometimes as a caster you're just like, Panzer IVs are good against infantry, and then a Panzer IV just gets like devastated by conscripts and dies or something, and you're like, well, just because that happened right now doesn't mean I was wrong, but yeah, this time it didn't look that way, did it? Okay, Faust's going to connect onto the T-70, but I don't believe there's a pack gun. Okay, there is actually a pack gun in the hood, but the T-70 is just about creeped out of range. The pack gun is going to stalk forwards here. It's going to deploy. The T-70 is just going to creep away. Oh, the attack ground round was so close. But this T-70, once again, escaping within an inch of its life. This Panzer IV rumbling in. This is pretty aggressive stuff. Where's the other Zis gun? Oh, it's not in the fight. But it might be soon. He's going to get that one set up. This Panzer IV is moving so aggressively in fog of war with no support. I don't know about this, Forswan. I'm not sure about this. Jeez, this looks terrible. What are we doing here? He really wants this T-70, but I'm not sure it's worth a Panzer IV. Oh my god, how is the T-70 alive? This is ludicrous. He's going to get another shot on the Panzer IV. This might be the KO blow. Oh, the barrel! He just can't track in time. Meanwhile, there's a huge infantry scrum going on over here. BT dubs. Oh, the Zis gun! Just can't make it happen. Just can't make it happen. The Zis gun crew on this one, they get wiped. Things are looking real bad over here. The German infantry is rampant and on the assault here, and there's just not enough Soviet bodies, and there's not enough Soviet tech, and there's just not enough Soviet muscle here to repel this assault. And Forsworn gets the Panzer IV out of there on death's door, having finally picked up the T-70, and Bulat here feels priced into going for a T-34, and that is a T-34 that is very likely going to be fighting two Panzer IVs. So that's a rough spot to be in. I believe that's the T-34. Is that the 85? I think that might be the 85. Hang on now. No, it's just the 76. All right. It's kind of hard to tell. The 85 has a little bump on its back, but the 76 kind of has a tiny small bump on its back, and sometimes I get them wrong. But yeah. All right, so it's just a regular T-34 76. Coxu00, good to see you there in chat, friend. GG. Yeah, most likely. Oh my god, yep. Losing a squad there as well to these stormtroopers. It looks bleak, but we're going up to double T-34. Okay, alright, maybe. I mean, this is not a 0% to win. If you are literally just hell-bent on getting as many wins today as you can, then, you know, if you're Bulat, then this is not the time to leave. But, yeah, it looks really bleak. You cannot deny it looks really bleak. So, all right, the first T-34 is out. Going to start doing some work against these grenadiers. He's gonna dodge the Faust. All right, that's nice. Double Panzer IV is out though, and if the fight comes down, if Forsworn is able to force a tank battle before the second T-34 gets out, then things could be rough. Okay, he's actually probably not going to get that chance now though, because one of his Panzer IVs cops around from a Zis gun. That's going to need repairs really before he wants to try and take a tank battle. So I believe Balat is going to be able to get to 2 Panzer IVs. Also manages to stabilize at 110 tickets, gets out from under the clock. Heroic squad of engineers here, going to make contact with Western VP. Albeit for only a short duration of time. Panzer Grenadiers will recap that, but every little counts right now for Balat, and that is some much needed time that he has bought. And seriously, if you just give the Soviet player enough time, I feel like we've seen this recently on the channel actually. In the it was in the game with Nagano and who was the opponent? It was Nagano versus, I think, Panzer Grenadier and Griffin, and Nagano like lost 9 T-34s and still won the game. And just testament to the fact that if you give the Soviet player enough time, they will come back at you, and it will be scary. Like, you have to end the game against Soviets. You can't be too passive. So, yeah, securing a little bit of time there was Balat, but the triple cap gets re-established. So Forsworn doing a good job of taking care of business here. And it's once again looking quite bleak. The triple cap is the most pressing and crucial concern right now for Balat. That's what we need to take care of. German forces are advancing in the east flank of the map, but I'm going to keep the camera over here because this is where, or at least it was where, the Soviet armor is advancing. Another T-34 going to take up position in mid here. Both of these players opting to split their tanks out here so that there's always going to be a Panzer or a T-34 within rapid response range of any kind of situation that they might want a medium tank in. And this is look at the minimap here. I'm going to crack the tag. Look at this dispersal of forces. Very nice stuff from both players, but this T-34 seemingly forgotten about. And a Panzer IV is going to pull up alongside that one, and it's going to be over too quickly here. That's a dead T-34. And you kind of feel like Balat's chances in this game have dwindled to 0 because they have left the game. So a convincing display from Forsworn, who I believe, according to creative name, is Orange Pest. And that will be that. Seemingly a game where German infantry doctrine delivering the goods, actually. That's the first game in quite a long time I've seen German infantry doctrine just look strong. So, cool. All right, nice. I'm glad to see that because, well, I'm just glad to see that, to be honest. So, wow, cool game. Oh, okay, Orange Pest is actually in chat. It's not Orange Pest. It's his brother playing on his account. There we go. Cool. What's up, Orange Pest? Good to see you there in chat. How's it going? Hope you had a good day. Okay. All right, so an interesting game to start us off there. And now, I'm just going to check the profile on this player. Who's this? All right, no clues given. But I imagine this is going to be a good one. Yeah, we're going to jump in and cast this one. Here we go. Orange Pest, are you just describing your brother as toxic? Fair enough. What? Mr. Wanker, if you were going to say anything in chat, it would be something like that. That is, just based on your screen name, that is a you thing to say. Cool, okay, right. Well, we've gone ahead and chosen another game, and we've got the mouse glitch. There we go. We're going to load everybody into that one. But before we do, how many... Whoa! We're up to 21 viewers. Jeez, that happened quick. Thanks very much, everybody. Welcome aboard. There's been a little bit of a change to the schedule this week, so I'm going to bring it up again just so that everybody knows. I'm casting in the evenings now on Wednesdays and Fridays. So there you go. That's 1700 hours GMT. So don't get flat-footed. Don't get caught out. If you want your daily dose of vitamin Magpie, you got to get it in the evening now on Wednesday and Friday. So yep. But on Monday it'll be midday Magpie because it's so alliterative. I just could not resist. So that will be remaining unchanged. But there we go. let's get into the game. Spawning in the south, playing as the Vermac pieces. It's going to be Iroa. And spawning in the north, playing as the American forces. It's going to be GX, who's going to be utilizing for our entertainment, education, and enlightenment, the Airborne Company. So there we go. These are going to be our players. This is our battlefield. Thank you very much for the follow, Mr. Wanker. Very much appreciated. Thank you for your support. I think, what are we in now? Is this my 4th week of streaming on Twitch? Something like that. But you're getting in real early on the Magpie phenomenon. Yep, sorry, getting distracted by something else there. But thank you very much for your support there, Mr. Wanker. I hope you go on to enjoy many future casts here on the channel. And in case you didn't know, if you're new to the Magpie phenomenon, you can find more of me at youtube.com/magpie842. And you can even figure out up-to-the-minute happenings that's going on with Magpie at Twitter, @MagpieCaster. There you go. All right, enough plugging. Let's look at the commanders that Iroa has opted to bring to the table here. We've got Defensive Doctrine, which is my favourite Ostrican commander at the moment. Feels weird to say, because I don't even like some of those abilities at all. It's just the combination of Ostrican Squad and Stug 3E. I love it. If literally, if the commander just had those 2 abilities, I would take it on my roster every time. He's also got Mechanized Assault Doctrine, one of the most prolific and just great commanders from the entire of Wehrmacht history. This commander has been an absolute zinger from day one that it was introduced into the game onwards. Just such a kick-ass commander. And German Infantry Doctrine, who we've just seen be dominant in that last game. Not sure if people are overestimating German Infantry Doctrine or if I'm underestimating German Infantry Doctrine. Probably the latter, because I'm just one guy and everybody else are really good players. So it's probably me who's underestimating. But just out of the games I've cast, which I realise is a small sample size, even if I was to cast 200 games a month, you know, that's still a small sample size. But I just haven't seen German Infantry Doctrine be that great, and I've often seen the commander be flat-footed by lack of munitions income, and just kind of get outmaneuvered and outdone by what the allied player is doing. Devem versus Love Nest starts in 30 minutes. I would love to cast me some Love Nest. Yeah. Oh my god, that would be excitement. That would be genuine excitement, to be honest. Yeah, I can only hope. I can only hope that we get to cast that. Is that going to be a custom game then, Katan? Because we'll look for that if we can. Anyway, let's take a look at what's going on in this game. So we've got Quad Grenadier MG42 and a little bit of a follow from Space Doggo U. Thank you very much. Much appreciated there, friend. Thank you for the support. Really like it. Really loving it. Oh, the rear Esh! Rear Esh go down. That's rough. MG42 in a bit of jeopardy over on this flank, but there's hopefully enough Germans here to cover. Yeah. He's going to be fine. He's going to get that one out. No, it's a Master League match. Cast by AE. Oh, okay. Oh, well, okay. Well, I don't really want to tread on AE's toes if that's something that he's organised. I don't want to be, like, stealing viewers from an event that he's put time and effort into. So, we'll just see. We'll just see. We'll see. Asterisk still might do that. Alright, so it's going to be Captain Tech here for the American player. We're going to have... Okay, yeah, probably, hopefully going to be a half track. Seems like optimal conditions for a half track. Look at German infantry like this. Austria's combined arms is very strong. That is a good way of looking at German infantry, yeah. And I have always said, despite my reservations about German infantry, it clearly does address one of the biggest weaknesses of the Wehrmacht faction, which is their very fragile or brittle infantry. So I grant you that creative name. If you do just assume that Wehrmacht are a strong faction with a notable weakness, and this commander kind of directly patches that weakness, then yeah, I mean, that's an appealing proposition for sure. For sure. And we're going to get to see German infantry doctrine again here, actually. So, going to be another example of a German infantry doctrine game here. This time against USF, and of course on a different map. But I'm keen to look to see exactly what effects the German infantry doctrine is going to have out here. G43, you can already hear blazing away, the veteran squad leader. Already in on this squad. It's going to be G43 versus Springfield at close range here, but of course the Pathfinder squad fresh to the fight, and so they will take that one. It's going to be a 2-2-2. What? Did he cancel the AA half track? What? Say what? Cancelled the AA half track. That's unusual. So why did GX cancel that AA half track? I'm not sure. What happened? God, you know, I'm really not sure why he cancelled that. Just really needs the healing? No. You still would let the half track finish. It was like at least a third done, maybe half. Okay, he's going to be going for a 50 cal drop, but we still could have bought the half track. We still have those money. So, I'm a little bit perplexed by the cancelling of the half track, because we did go all the way to research the mechanized company command post. So, we kind of put a down payment on that half track. We should probably, and that is a non-refundable deposit. So, odd to not go ahead and get that. But all right. So now it's going to be 2-2-2, and I mean, it's hard not to say that the Wehrmacht player has the better position here. I mean, taking nice fights out on the map, pushing for control of the midline of the map, that's always a strong place to be. We've had decent munitions income, so the German infantry doctrine is being well fed here, and the 2-2-2 combined with the rest of these forces, I think, puts the German player in a really nice position. Now, I mean, there is a 50 cal out, and that's going to help the American player here, but will it be enough? I don't know. Hang on now, though. This veteran squad of grenadiers is low. The riflemen will not focus fire. I wonder if that was a missed opportunity, because he immediately started focusing other units. I think there could have been a squad wipe going there. But you have to make these decisions on the fly, in the instant, in the moment. And Iroha's attention could have been doing any number of things. And, you know, he's a great player, so far be it for me to criticize there. But that would have been an amazing squad to pick off. One that has already had the munitions dumped into it to be vet squad leader. So there we go. Okay, so creative name agrees with me. Yeah, I just feel like if you try for that wipe there, and the thing is, that's an above average wipe, right? Because German infantry doctrine is all about those early munitions and getting those grenadiers with the veteran squad upgrades, and building from that strong foundation. And if you can rock that foundation with squad wipes, it hurts so much. You're not just losing 240 manpower squads, you're losing the veterancy and you're losing the 60 munitions, and then you have to replace that grenadier squad, and it puts you so far behind. Anytime you can wipe your opponent's core infantry throughout any stage of the game, it's really powerful. But certainly if you can do it early on against this particular German commander, it can be game changing. So anyway, not the end of the world though, but I mean, this is just still a very scary German roster now. And 250 cals, wow, okay. Hang on a second, is he using the... Okay. Sorry, for a second I thought we saw an ambulance on the field. Stormtroopers! Stormtrooper gonna sneak on through here and grab a cutoff, and you know, that's a meaningful cutoff. That is a fuel cutoff, so that's some value for sure. These stormtroopers getting work done out here, and Americans will respond, but this is taking away attention from the front. Oh, so this map is Bio. There you go. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of this map either. But there you go. Alright. So a 2-2-2 going to be kiting here. This 2-2-2 has looked pretty dope all game. I mean, it's not done anything insane, but it's just been well positioned because there's nothing really in the American roster that can touch it unless you're sort of dozy enough to let it park in front of a 50 cal for long. So, yeah. MG42 in a lovely position there, catches some riflemen under the arc. You can just see how these fights are really difficult for GX to take. The composition is just actually still not there. But Major Tech is, and that is relatively rapid. Now there's no fuel for an immediate Sherman or anything like that, but this is still rapid Major Tech, so the intention is there from this American player. We cancelled the flak half track for rapid Major Tech, so that's what's happening here. It's still weird that we went for the mechanized company command post. That's like what's kind of like tripping me out a bit. But I mean, it's okay to change your mind, I suppose. But still, you'd obviously rather change your mind before you'd pay the 20 fuel and stuff. But yeah. So. I mean, look at this 2-2-2. He gets all the way around the back of the 50 cal. That's so annoying. Yeah, and then he starts focusing it. Oh, this is so annoying. And now stormtroopers are going to take the same corridor to get around the back of this American position. And the 50 cal is in extreme jeopardy. Yeah, he has to pull that one back. Nicely done. But now with the 2-2-2, the veteran grenadiers and the stormtrooper up close with the MP40s, these American units will have to fold. You cannot take this fight, sir. And the Noose Titans, Iroha, looking pretty smart on the ladder today. And it's nice to see. Look at this! This is such a good Wehrmacht composition, isn't it? Wehrmacht have got shit going on these days, man. Between Osttroppen and German infantry, it's a fine time to be a Wehrmacht player, isn't it? That's real nice. That's real nice. Okay, so G43's A-game are a straight DPS upgrade. They do a lot of DPS, but most notably that DPS translates really well when firing on the move. It's actually one of the better weapons to be firing on the move with. So it basically turns Grenadiers into quite a DPS-y, but importantly, that DPS doesn't drop off if you start moving them. So yeah, that's what the G43 on Grenadiers does. It's just straight DPS, but unlike the LMG42, it's not super sensitive to you moving. So it's like you can micro a bit more. You don't have to do that sort of leapfrogging style of micro like you do with an LMG42. Oh yeah, of course. And as Creative Name points out, with this doctrine, you get an extra model as well because you get the veteran squad leader. Yeah. 10% less received damage. Creative Name with the knowledge bombs. See, I didn't know that. So that's a lot. That's a lot. Oh, and of course the free medkit, which I didn't mention, but I mean the free medkit is kind of not in the G43, but Creative Name there, given the full slice of information, that is everything you get for your 60 munitions, and it's quite good. I mean that's an appealing package. Whoa, okay. It's my mouse. Oh, rifle grenade. Douche. He is going to smack home, but actually he doesn't focus the 50 cal. Alright, fair enough. Oh, Grenadier in the open. Oh, he's taking a lot of fire. That's a wipeable unit now, and he will lose one of his 4 Grenadier squads. So at last, GX able to draw blood here. And you know what? For as good as this game has looked, and as good as the fights have been for the German player, and as good as the composition has been, it is the Wehrmacht player who trails in the victory points. And the American player is kind of just about firing on all cylinders now. It's really starting to happen for GX. The pack howitzer is out. We've got double machine gun. We've got a great roster of infantry here. And we are about to be heading into the world where we can make a meaningful fuel choice. So I actually think GX has not only weathered the storm, but is turning this. This is actually shifting rapidly. With or without the wipe on the Grenadier squad is just gravy. That's just extra. I mean, that's real nice, don't get me wrong, but it's like, even without that, the American player is turning this. So, and it was looking rough, man. It just looked, for a good 5 minutes, it just looked like the Americans couldn't take a fight. Like, every time they tried, it just wasn't going well. But that has turned around. I love the pack howitzer. That is going to start punishing Germans. We have seen what pack howitzers do. So alright, I'm actually excited to see some American stuff. Oh, there we go, to see some American stuff start doing well here. DS13 Alex, hola. Good to see you in chat there, friend. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Not going for a sniper against this USF composition is a weird choice. Interesting point, creative name. Yeah, I think the sniper often overlooked. The trouble is, the sniper's such a high risk, high variance, and sadly high cost unit. Does the sniper get anything off of German infantry doctrine? Not really, except for the free healing, I suppose, from the grenadiers, which is actually quite big. That is actually quite big. Alright, so like what I'm most curious about is what does the American player spend this fuel on? Because that's... The American player is more or less in the driving seat. The German player is... I mean, so Iroha here is just going for the standard Panzer IV, like we're kind of used to seeing. And I get it. Panzer IVs are really good right now. Like, they are effective against all targets. That's almost an understatement. They are very effective against infantry. They're like almost as good as Ostwinds against infantry. It's kind of crazy what the Panzer IV is like at the moment. DS13 Alex, thank you very much for the follow there. Much appreciated. Loving the support. Means a lot. Thank you very much. So, yeah. Alright, so we're going to have a Panzer IV out here, but what does the American player spend this fuel on? What are they banking fuel for here? It can't be anything special. This is an airborne company game. So there's not going to be a Bulldozer Sherman, there's no Pershing, there's no Calliope, you know, we don't need to worry about anything mad. I think it's just going to be straight to Jackson, isn't it? That's how it's looking. You know, we could have had the Sherman out by now. Is the Panzer IV going to deploy out into the west here? And perhaps confirming now that it is Panzer IV is we've got a swirling fight going on across a good, pretty much the entire middle of the map going on right now. So forgive me if I don't catch everything on camera. There's a lot going on, but it seems like this is a good spot for a Jackson. In fact, it seems like a Jackson should have already been on the queue because we are stacking money here. So GX, what's the plan, man? Pack howitzer. Doing pack howitzer things. The name of the grenadier... Okay, yeah, creative name's got you back. Veteran squad leader, indeed. Greetings from Argentina. Okay, cool. Thanks, DS. That's interesting to know where you're from. Do I analyze 1v1 games? I mean, yeah, insofar as I cast them. Yeah, sure. If you mean, do I analyze games that people send in to me? Not so much. I really just enjoy casting, and I'll be honest with you, I really don't feel like I'm good enough of a player to be actually coaching people. Like, I can definitely coach, I can give some advice and stuff like that, but I really think if you are hell-bent on actually improving your game, there are a lot of better places you can go than me. That's just my honest feelings about it. So, yeah. Alright, double M1. What is this composition from GX, and why are they allergic to spending fuel? I mean, I love the double M1. It's real sweet. It's actually almost a little bit intimidating. You know, when your opponent is just like, yeah, I could have built a Jackson. I could have built a Jackson 5 minutes ago, but I don't need a Jackson. It's like, okay, wow, that's a bit of a power trip. Oh, Rifleman squad on death's door here. They're going to get out. That's all right. Whew, bit close there. Datton, my friend. Today's cast is not going to end with a Deserts of Karak replay, and there's a really good reason for that. But I'll go into it after this game if that's okay. But yeah, moving forwards, that is the plan. It's just that today I was so busy I couldn't find a replay. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to talk about it after the game. I just talked about it. Now you know why. It's just been a super long day of working out in the sun and doing stuff, and I was just really busy, and then I got back and I had an hour to make food and then get ready for the cast, so I just didn't have time to find a good one. But I will. A game, that would be so good. If you could make a replay pack for Deserts of Karak, I would be so happy. I would cast the hell out of that. Do it. Absolutely, please do. That would be amazing. Winning without vehicles as USF is damn impressive, yeah. Can you imagine if USF had like a fuel bombardment ability where it's like 100 fuel and it just like does something? I don't know, whatever you want. Like just a cool thing, but it costs fuel to release a bombardment. Like that would be so weird. I don't think that would be good, but I'm just saying, imagine that. It's almost like that's what he's saving for. It's like if I get to 250 fuel, I get to drop an atom bomb or something. It's like, nope. No, you don't. Not in this game. Not on the Western Front. So, okay, we're up to double Panzer IV now. Surely a Jackson or two would be useful, right? Am I wrong about this? You know? What are we doing out here, GX? Because it's double Panzer IV now, and I like what you've got going on, GX. You've played a great game so far, and you're in a great position. You really are. But... Okay, finally, a Sherman? This is like the slowest Sherman I've ever... The 21.5-minute Sherman comes onto the queue. From... Let's not forget, this was quite a fast major, because he did skip... building the half-track after weirdly buying the Mechanized Company command post, but... Okay. I mean, you know what? I don't even hate the Sherman. The support is here, where a Sherman can definitely work. And if he's going to go up to double, triple Sherman, great. Let's start snowballing Shermans. I can get behind that. That could work. It's just weird that we left it this long, but okay. Oh! The tungsten round picks off the Panzer IV. And that tank is no more. Jeez. Oh god, the M1s are doing work. That'll be a double kill on the Panzer IVs. Bye-bye, son. The fragmentation bombing run is nice, but you'll trade your double M1AT gun for 2 Panzer IV kills any day. That's value. That's money. And when the dust settles, this is looking good for GX. Datton, what are the options that Major unlocks? The Major unlocks the Scott artillery carriage. It unlocks the Sherman tank, and it unlocks the Jackson tank hunter. In fact, you know what? I can just show you by clicking here. There you go. Those are the options that the Major unlocks. So you've got the Sherman, 110 fuel. You've got the Jackson, 145 fuel. And you've got the Scott motor carriage, 75. I'll tell you what, yeah, that Sherman does look amazing when there's no Panzer IVs against it. This Sherman is now the Kingmaker on the field. But hang on now, double pack gun. Iroha taking some lessons here out of the GX playbook. Oh, it's double AT gun is how I deal with medium tanks. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And he's going to get the pack howitzer as well. Hold on now. Everything's getting a bit crazy. Wait up. Wait up. Iroha's kind of pushing in a little bit here. This is really annoying. MG42 with incendiary ammo has 1 billion Americans under the arc. It is being suppressed by the 50 cal, but okay, it gets picked off even. Ooh, everything's gone to chaos. This has been a really chaotic last phase of play. So many resources, everybody's scrambling, everybody's getting a bit messy. And, oh, he's going for the pack guns. Why wouldn't you? I mean, okay, there's a 222 kiting you, but that's going to take quite a while to work down this amount of infantry. And the pack gun, at least one of them is going to be forfeit here. You have to think, right? Is he going to get that pack gun? Probably. Grenadiers positioning on the flanks now. Other Grenadiers indeed scything round as well. So these Americans are a little bit exposed now. And look at the mini-map. That's the main story. Iroha getting a massive land grab. A massive land grab. And the compositions have changed so much over the last couple of minutes. Let's watch this fight play out. Okay, the riflemen get out, so I'm just going to quickly check the tech here. No sign of Battle Phase 3. Interesting. Okay, Iroha. Don't know about that.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
And look at this. This 222 has been so good this game. I'm not afraid to say it. It's been really useful. I love how the 222 is a proper unit, which with correct micro can actually be useful through all phases of the game now. So cool. And yeah, the 222 picks off the AT guns. That's massive. That is massive. Now the American roster has actually no hard AT, which is concerning. And Iroha has money for another Panzer IV. I think I'd rather see Battle Phase 3. I don't think I like continuing to do medium tanks, because even when the Panzer IV looked good earlier, you never really got much done with it, Iroha. And you know, the American player can call in M1AT guns like on the budget here. You know, you don't need to pay the full manpower cost, so you can call them in a hurry if you need to, is what I'm saying. So okay, it's going to be a Panzer IV. All right. I mean, I said it before, Panzer IVs are good at like pretty much everything, so I can see why Wehrmacht players are having a bit of a sort of infatuation with Panzer IVs at the moment, but you know, Brumbars put big holes in these kinds of compositions, and on maps like this where you have these kind of hefty line of sight and vision blockers all over the place, remember Brumbars can lob shells through there, so they can be quite slippery and difficult to get to grips with, and you know, if you can vet that Brumbar up, it becomes actually quite difficult for allied players to get the time on victory points they need to get them captured, because their units keep exploding. So, I mean, I just think Brumbar is actually one of the strongest units in the game, and no other faction really has an analogue for the Brumbar. It's a Wehrmacht thing. Only Wehrmacht really gets things that look like Brumbars. And I think Wehrmacht are kind of underutilizing that strength, like generally speaking. That's my impression at the moment. This is a weird game creative name, you're absolutely right. A lot of things from both players don't quite make sense. But this is RTS, and nobody plays a perfect game, and this is where we find ourselves, so... And, you know, are we not entertained? I for what, I'm entertained, this is fine by me. But I take your point, this is a very, very weird game. And the multitasking from these players has kind of been on point, actually. There's been like some huge fights going on across the entire width of the map. And okay, now the third Panzer IV is going to reveal itself, and now we need some AT, right? Okay, GX, you had to know that this was going to happen. So yeah, we definitely need some AT now. That's the frag bombing run. Oh, doesn't quite get the pack howitzer. Those guys saw their lives flash before them. That'll be a good story for the grandkids there. As that pack howitzer is going to sneak away. This Panzer IV is actually getting quite close to the... Ooh, hang on now. Iroha pushing quite hard here and finding damage, because there's no answer for this Panzer IV, really. There's just no answer. So that's a problem for the American forces. What are we doing with 260 odd fuel? Let's build a Jackson, right? Come on. They're not bad. They're not bad. They're really not bad. They're like a really good tank hunter, and I feel like you have a problem with a tank right now. Did somebody say hunter tank? Sorry, that's a super obscure South Park reference. Let's not worry about that. Why are we not building anti-tank resources? GX has the money. What is the plan for this Panzer IV? At the moment, this Panzer IV feels like it can just drive where it wants and do what it wants. I mean, it kind of just did. It like drove all the way up nearly to the doorstep of the American base, just taking shots at weapon teams without reprisal. So like, you know, like, surely we want to stop that happening again, right? Hades there, is that a historical fact that the Achilles were not great but the Jacksons are good? The British made a tank called the Achilles, a tank destroyer called the Achilles. Weird to name yourself after something which had a famous weak point. The M10 Wolverine, yeah, I am convinced. We saw that sick Wolverine game the other day where it was like 3 or 4 Wolverines we used, and even though that means that some of them died, they all did really well. Wolverines will handle Ostia Tier 3, absolutely. Absolutely.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Let me just check the tech here. Still no Battle Phase 3. I just think Iroha just doesn't do Battle Phase 3. Like, which is weird, because it's much more heavily incentivized now than it ever was before. Because once you get that heavy Panzer Corps down, then like, you get 25% reduced reinforced cost and 25% increased cap speed, and those are huge. There's like almost never a game of Company of Heroes 2 where those kinds of buffs are not going to be relevant.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Yeah, the M10 is weirdly good against infantry as well, Jono. Yeah, good point. Lend-Lease has one. Okay, Hades. That's actually the British Commander, which I've almost never cast, and it was added to the game sort of pretty much after I stopped sort of seriously playing. So like, I don't have very much experience with the Lend-Lease Commander, but that's really cool that the Brits have a sort of a tank destroyer other than the Firefly that they can call on. I'd like to see that one used in a game. That'd be really cool. There are certain units that I would love to see in a game, and I just never... I feel like I never will. One is the Priest, the American Priest. God only knows what that game does. Presumably, as soon as it comes out onto the field, the American player instantly loses the game, because they never build them. They never build them. Similarly, the UKF Sexton. Never used. Just never used. And the Valentine. Now, I appreciate we've seen a couple of Valentines on the channel recently, but I don't think any of them have survived for longer than 45 seconds, so I still feel like I don't really know what impact the Valentine kind of has on the game, and it would be nice to know what it actually does. Okay. We're up to double Panzer IV now. Surely buy an AT gun, or spend some fuel on a Jackson. Is GX trying to just play this game without building a Jackson for a dare? Like, I don't get it. These Panzer IVs are just chewing you up, man. And now there's two of them. I'm not sure that you can sustain this rate of bleed. Takes out one of the pack howitzers and starts working on the other. Okay, he's got Zooks on the rear esh, but you're never going to beat two Panzer IVs with Zooks on rear esh. Well, unless you've got like 4 squads of rear esh, but we've only got 1. So, this is tough. Okay, finally the Jackson comes down. But I feel like these Panzer IVs have already done so much. Look at how much the map is turning blue off of this sick pincer attack. 1 Panzer IV coming in off of each flank, and the German infantry eager and ready to take advantage, pushing up, grabbing all this land. Now the American player still does have a nice ticket lead, which should be enough to buy enough time to spend all this fuel on Jacksons. And here comes the P-47 rocket strafe. And the Panzer IVs will be kept at bay for a moment here, whilst the mighty American aircraft thunder overhead, delivering rockets. But they've kind of snuck away now, so that ought to be the end of the rocket runs. And here comes that Jackson, at last. At last. And you know what? You can go ahead and buy more anti-tank stuff, man. I seriously don't think one... I don't think 1 Jackson will be enough. Triple cap here for Iroa. Plenty of hardware up for grabs. There's sort of BARs around the place, and oh, actually, was that pack howitzer destroyed? Oh, it was. Very nice. Okay, yep. All right. Oh, the 50 cal going to get picked off here. Stormtroopers doing Stormtrooper things. Hang on. No? Wow. Okay, I thought for sure that would be a dead 50 cal, but it ain't. Not today. He sneaks away. Sextons are more of a 3v3 or 4v4 strat. Okay. And the Valentine needs support. Okay, I just feel like UKF don't really have a light tank, so I feel like we should see Valentines more if they're a good light tank. Are they... I mean, they're not even that expensive. They're like 70 fuel, right? Am I wrong? Or are they 80? I feel like they're not super expensive, though. Okay, thanks, A-Game. That sounds awesome. Really appreciate it. Genuinely, thank you for taking some time out and doing that for me. I really appreciate it. I mean, the AEC is sort of like a light tank, but the trouble is, the AEC for me is really like a sort of light tank hunter / scout car thing. It doesn't do the light tank thing of dominating infantry, and that's the strong thing about light tanks. That's why you die unless you have a pack gun with Vermax if your opponent gets like a Stuart or a T-70. Well, you don't die, but I mean, it's horrible. Because light tanks are very good against infantry, and the AEC is like kind of meh against him. I mean, it's like it's better than useless, but I mean, that's not a strong recommendation. So I feel like UKF don't really have a light tank. I mean, between the Bren carrier and the AEC, they don't want for light vehicles, but they don't have a direct equivalent of a Panzer II or a T-70 or a Stuart, in my opinion. Aki HQ, hey there friend, welcome aboard. Good to see you in chat. We're watching a really weird game right now. It's a bit of a strange one. But looks like GX kind of getting their shit together, finally remembered to buy a Jackson, and is pushing out, but this Jackson is in a bit of a risky spot. Panzer IV's coming out of the woodwork here. Going to try for some attack ground rounds. Rear Ash as well, going to creep up on this Panzer IV, get some more shots in. Nicely done. They're going to connect. Jackson here with another shot. Oh, he's not getting the connections he needs from this angle. Just needs to move the Jackson over a tile. And we'll see. Imagine your parents calling you better than useless. Would make me very proud. Yeah, you know what? Me too. Uh-oh. Oh, but the American forces are starting to hemorrhage infantry units now. He loses the Rear Ash with the Zooks, who were doing so well and had such decent veterancy. And it's going to be a third Panzer IV. I honestly think GX might just kind of die because they just kind of neglected to buy the appropriate anti-tank countermeasures, you know? I don't think it's reasonable that you can expect to beat 2 or more Panzer IVs with just a Jackson and some Rear Ash with Zooks. I feel like you need double Jackson, or you need Jackson with some Sherman, or you need more Zooks across more units, or you need some M1AT guns in there as well. And there was a really healthy phase of play in this game for the American player where we had double M1AT gun and the Panzer IVs melted. And then those AT guns were sort of taken out and never rebought. And, you know, there's just been a gaping AT gap in this army ever since then. And the Panzer IVs have been dominant in that time, and it's been like 10 minutes or more. So, you know, I think we have to save for... We don't even have to save that much. You can actually call in the M1s for 125 manpower. I appreciate the munitions are dear, but like at this late stage in the game, it's often the manpower that's the limiting variable. Oops, that's the limiting variable. So, yeah, creative name. I'd say it's probably more positive, but they're not mutually exclusive. It's like you are better than useless, but I'm also disappointed. It's like you can be both. All right, these Panzer IVs are ripping it now. One with 4-star, one with 2-star veterancy, going to be getting the armored skirts, and like this Jackson is going to be surrounded by Panzer IVs, and like obviously Panzer IVs will eat a Jackson alive. They absolutely will do that. And this Jackson is actually in a position where the Panzer IVs could do that.
A capture point is being overrun.
This is not that secure of a place for it to be. Only 2 of the Panzer IVs over here at the moment, though. Oh man, these attack ground rounds are just not connecting as well. I like the idea for GX. I do. But they are not translating into the hits that we need. Into the hits Gotham deserves. $340 fuel. You don't get to take it with you. You don't get to take it with you.
Losing a capture point.
Wow, that sounds interesting. Creative name. Good God, I'd love to cast a game where a Brit player tried something like that. All right, we're going up to double Jackson. Okay, glimmers of hope here for the American player, who still has some time to work with. 266 over 198. Thanks, A-Game. I'll get on that after today's stream. Brilliant. Really appreciate it. Okay, so double Jackson's going to be out here in a second, and hopefully the American player is going to use them conservatively to just slowly push out and then try and choke out the German. Because with 3 Panzer IVs, any sudden movements with these Jacksons and you are likely to die. 4 Panzer IVs! Ugh. Ha! Ha! Ugh. That, if my math is correct, that's a Panzer 16. That is a scary, scary number. I mean, once again, I feel like double Jackson actually isn't enough for Panzer 16. It will not do. A creative name calling the all-in. It's possible. It might even be good. Oh, hang on though, both of the Jacksons managed to get into one of these Panzer IVs. Oh, don't lose your captain. Okay. Alright, Blitz is really good though. Indeed, indeed, AkiHQ. You can catch dem VODs, youtube.com/Magpie842. It's all going on over there. Yeah, wouldn't it be great if it was just like some kind of like, oh, he actually doesn't have the unit cap for the 4th Panzer IV. Okay. But wouldn't it be great if it was like some sort of like Decepticon transformer, like if 4 Panzer IVs get near enough, they can like combine into some sort of like Constructicon Panzer 16 nightmare.
We're at 200 points.
Panzers, the official currency of the Third Reich. Yeah, I mean, inflation got so bad, didn't it? That they, actually, I believe the price of a loaf of bread was like 3 or 3.25 Panzer IVs at one point. It was like, it's pretty expensive. I'm honestly not convinced that's how Panzer math works. Then you need to go back to Panzer math school, my friend. Alright, double Jacksons are out. And the American player is using them kind of conservatively. I'm just really concerned that with 4 Panzer IVs you could totally come in for a dive. Fragmentation bombing run there, and doesn't quite find the mark. You can come in for a dive on these Jacksons and they will just instantly fold. And if these Jacksons do die, then the game pretty much ends on the spot, right? Because the Panzer IVs can just park in the American base and then everything's over because there's just not enough AT. All the AT is in these Jacksons and that's it.
Capture point is being overrun.
Yeah, so, I mean, the American player is going to try and push out here, but the Panzer IVs will just lawnmower your guys. They don't care. They just don't... Oh my god, look at the DPS on Panzer IVs. Against infantry, it's so good. Rifleman squad just got lost. And the Jacksons are kind of actually in disarray at the moment. They're not facing the right way. The armor facings are all wrong. GX is going to rotate them perhaps just in the nick of time, but these Panzer IVs are shoving in. Hang on now. Okay. Thinking better of it. I like the camo on these Panzer IVs, by the way. It does look quite cool. It's very sort of Tiger-esque. And Wehrmacht forces have the score lead, and it's difficult to see how the American player is going to retake the map with this anti-tank deficit. Okay, so the isolated Panzer IV is this one on the right, over in the just to the east of mid. So perhaps if GX realizes it, there might be a chance to go for it. But again, I don't really like trying to make any sudden moves with these Jacksons. This is much better, leaving the Jacksons back, just taking safe shots from distance. But you can't turn your back on this Panzer IV here. And he gets the pack howitzer. Christ, Panzer IVs are good. They're just so good. I get why German players really like them now. Alright, this Panzer IV comes in. Alright, this is a mistake, but Iroha is not going to get too severely punished here. The other Jackson was actually just not quite in position to take a shot there. Alright, and now the Panzer IVs are going to have to spend a moment to repair. 111 tickets here for GX, and bleeding so fast. So I wonder if there's still time to do something in this game, because the infantry roster is so depleted. And there's just not really enough anti-tank. So it's quite a scary position to be. If we can just creep forwards, now that all the Panzer IVs are low health, if we can creep forwards with the Jackson, we might be able to get some work done. But we have to keep pressure on the Panzer IVs, because as soon as they're repaired, we kind of just lose the game, I feel like. So perhaps the time is now. But I mean, only I could really identify this opportunity, because I don't have Fog of War. If I was playing this game, if I was GX, you'd have to be a mastermind to just realise that now is your moment to strike with the 2 Jacksons out into Fog of War against 4 Panzer IVs. Like, that's an incredibly difficult call to make. It's borderline insane. Only someone with intense game sense would ever try that, and even then it's a risky move. So yeah, time for the American Air Force to clear up this mess. Hey, Strommingbird, good to see you, man. They ruin the economy by printing all those Panzer IVs. Okay, a Sherman. Alright, that's a worthy addition. Something for these Jacksons to hide behind. And gonna grab a VP, maybe 2. No, this is too many angry Germans. German infantry doctrine again here. So this is 2 games now where it's looked pretty good. And I'm happy to see it, because I have been skeptical of this doctrine for quite a while. But then again, I also feel like I might have just seen a particularly weird bunch of German infantry doctrine games or something. 50 cal, getting so much value though, causing the entire core of the German infantry roster to fall back. That's great. Enables the Pathfinders to get, crucially, some time on this victory point. And perhaps even going to grab a fuel point, although there's less relevant. GX has been drowning in fuel for some time now. But the Sherman's going to finish up here. And GX isn't dead yet. And to be honest, the Wehrmacht player is only on 198, so if GX is able to reverse this situation, it will not take long for a win to come through. I know, it still looks bleak. 4 Panzer IVs is really good, and this German infantry looks devastating. Oh god, the most ill-fated drop of all time into the barrel of an MG42. Rough drop, boys, rough drop. But yeah, the situation still looks utterly bleak for GX, for sure. But there is hope. Like, this is not over. C-23 Hades, yeah, a mitosis of the Panzer IVs here. Hee. Uh-oh. Okay, now the Panzer IVs are going for an overrun. They're going to be creeping through here. The 2 Jacksons are in position, but they're not kiting! Okay, now they are. Okay, he gets one. The paratroopers maybe forfeit here.
We just lost a unit.
He just lost... Pack howitzer? I don't know, something died somewhere. The Sherman is going to try and commit to hold mid. Jesus Christ, fragmentation bombing run as well. The triple cap is there for the American player in D-Day game. And the Sherman is actually doing work. Like, holding mid VP is work right now. That's what the American player needs. What have we got over here? Okay, yeah, look at this. Oh no, he moves the 50 cal. No, that was a great position. No, I think definitely stay back here in the heavy cover. What are we doing with this 50 cal? Oh, we're going to put it here? Is this better? I don't know. Okay, yeah, we need to get the Jacksons back a bit here. But the American infantry roster is so depleted. So depleted. This is a huge ask in the face of a ridiculous Axis army. Look at this army. That's so nuts. There are so many BARs around the place as well. Yeah, 4. 4 is correct. Oh, he finds a Panzer IV! And it's not looking... Where's the next shot? Oh, he gets it! Oh god! The Panzer IVs! Iroha! Wake up, bro! Okay. Ooh, these Jacksons are looking a bit pokey now. They want to fight! He uses Blitz! It's Blitz to GTFO! He gets the Vet Panzer IV! Oh my god! GX making it happen. Panther on the queue. GX making it happen here, and he's fighting tooth and nail for all the victory points. 117 and ticking right now for Iroha. And this is what I was on about. This 50 cal, isn't it? The stormtroopers get by the arc, though. Oh no, the 50 cal's prioritizing the grenadiers there. Brutal fighting going on. Tooth and nail for all these victory points. The paratroops need a fallback order. They need a fallback order. The 50 cal, beleaguered, surrounded, flanked. The paratroopers still need a fallback. They need to get out of here. And we're down to 1 Panzer IV. He's just got no infantry now, though. The Jacksons will take this Panzer IV, but then it's an infantry fight. And the German infantry doctrine will win that. So I think, boys, if you reverse through here... Oh, he goes... he commits to it. He got duped. He got duped! Oh god, he's going to lose the 4th Panzer IV. The Panther arrives, but it's actually just not in time. He's going to be able to probably pick up both the Jacksons here, though, and that'll be the win. That'll be the win. Panther's just going to cruise on around here, and that'll be the win. Wow. GX playing a super interesting but fatally flawed game there. And no amount of Shermans is going to drag you out of this one, GX. This game is not still alive, is it? Hang on a second, have I got this wrong? Actually, if these Shermans actually have time to come out, then GX is still in this. And the triple cap... Okay, hang on. Okay, right. Alright, I had this wrong. I thought this game was over, but it's actually not, is it? Wow.
Germans down to 75 points.
The scoreline is essentially even. And the American player has got 2 Shermans on the queue, which will bring the total to 3 if the game goes on long enough for them to come out. And also the American player has a triple cap. Whoa! This is kind of a crazy game.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
OKW and Strategic Reserve, they do have better Panzer IVs, but they're notably more expensive. But yeah, we could still see spam there. I think it's just that OKW have other stuff to be spending fuel on that's also good, perhaps. And not that Wehrmacht don't, but I mean, OKW have more tempting options from the Schwer Panzer HQ. And Strategic Reserves perhaps also, because that's a Tiger commander, right? So maybe people just keep trying to save for Tigers. I don't know. Anyway, German forces get onto mid. There's a pack gun here, but the Shermans are like right here. Oh, okay, here comes the Panther. That'll save the day. That miss from the Panther! Oh god, that was diabolical. And we nearly have enough munitions for another rocket run. Nearly. The pack gun gets wasted. What am I seeing here? Now the Panther has 2 Shermans in its rear armor. Is this for real? The Stormtroopers getting fed into the grinder here. 24 tickets. The Riflemen get up on top of this victory point. That's huge. The Shermans here dueling the Panther. Going to do their best just to screen it out of this fight here. And it's all the action's happening on this screen. This is all you need to know. And what? Who won? What? Somebody help me. It's not immediately obvious who has conceded here. So that is a USF win. I mean, it feels like a USF win, but like... normally if it's a disconnect, you get the little skull. I think the German player has raged out. And that is actually... Is that an unwinnable situation for the German player? Because you've got these pioneers coming, right? And they can get on top of this victory point. And then you're playing for 1 victory point. And then you've got these pioneers going to west, but it's covered by a 50 cal. But they could flank it. You've got... Oh, that's a retreating infantry model. Okay. It does seem very unlikely that the Germans can win this, doesn't it? Like, incredibly unlikely. The Panther was a bad choice. Should have gone for Brum. It did kill 2 Jacksons, yeah. What an interesting game. I think that game was, like, very fascinating, but also fatally flawed from both players. Not fatally flawed, just a flawed game, because GX did some weird stuff, right? Going for Captain Tech, then going for Mechanized Command Post, and then going for and then not building a half track. It was on the queue, he cancelled it. And then going for like early major, but then not spending any fuel, and then building M1s to counter Panzer IVs, which worked like a charm, brilliantly. Then lost the anti-tank guns, and just didn't build any more in the face of avalanches of Panzer IV. So like, a lot of that is confusing. But still, with fantastically good awareness and multitasking and relentless determination, GX coming out of this with a sweet win. Iroha with another good showcasing of German infantry doctrine. This is clearly a powerful commander. Clearly, this powerful commander is powerful. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna phrase that. But not able to take a win here. God, what a strange game that was. I'm not even really sure what that game turned on. Like, what was the turning moment of that game? What a crazy game. And it did come right down to the final VPs there. Crazy. Thank you very much, Bloody A Balls. I do my best. Legit no time. Yeah, creative name's right. There was. I mean, having analysed the final position there, it seems like insanely unlikely, perhaps even impossible, that Wehrmacht could have gotten onto those VPs in any meaningful way. So, yeah, I think that game was actually over. What a ridiculous win, though. We've got Helping Hands versus Hireling. Ooh, who fancies that? Yeah, let's do the Helping Hands game, right? Okay, yeah, we're gonna cast Helping Hands. What the? Did I miss it? The fuck? Hold on. Yeah. So there are no other games that I want to cast. We're gonna cast the Helping Hands game. Dun dun dun. A Langraskaya game featuring United Kingdom forces. Dun 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 dun. Here we go. Don't sort by time. That's what was throwing me out. Thanks, creative name. Houston 13906. Oi, hello to you too, sir. Good to see you there in chat. I use sir as a term of respect, not. I did not assume your gender. I should clarify. Okay, all right. Looks like there's a little bit of time till this game begins. About 30 seconds. Also, that's a couple of games on the trot. I've been talking now for 90 minutes. Jesus. So I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to make myself another cup of tea and stretch my legs. I'm going to be back in 5 minutes. I'll be back at 1:30. Okay. So yeah, I'll see you guys all at 1:30. Keep it locked. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Greetings, or what is up, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. The sun is relentlessly, incandescently shining, and the Magpie is doing his best at casting. Coming to you guys right now with some live Company of Heroes 2 casts. We've had a couple of good games today, definitely getting off to a fantastic start. Now, there have been some changes to the schedule, so for those of you who have just tuned in, I'm going to quickly let you know when and where you can catch the Magpie in action. So Mondays we are doing Midday Magpie, as you're used to, as we have been doing for the last few weeks. But Wednesdays and Fridays now, I think I'm going to be casting in the evening. That is, of course, starting today. That's why I'm casting now. Yep, Friday as well will be 1700 hours GMT. So yeah, that's the schedule. Cool. That's that covered. So we've got a fantastic game of Company of Heroes 2 lined up. So why don't we get straight into that? Spawning in the north here, playing as the Vermac pieces, as the Ostrapan Doctrine, no less. It's going to be Helping Hands. And spawning in the south, playing as the UKF forces, as the Lend-Lease Doctrine. Hey, I was just saying I wanted to cast this guy. It is going to be Hireling. So, that is going to be the state of play here. The map will be Langraskaya. It looks like some pretty boring bulletins for all these guys as well. And yeah, colour me excited. Oh, Assault Infantry. What do these guys get? Assault Infantry sections. So they clearly have Sten guns, right? Yeah. And they get Mills Bomb and Smoke Grenade. Okay. Requires Assault Section Upgrade. Okay. So they get Tommy guns and White Foss for 60 munitions. Okay. Alright, interesting stuff. Hey, Emma Duranke, what's going on? So whilst these two players move out onto the map, there's something else I want to talk about. So there's some chat, I noticed in chat some people mentioning Homeworld Deserts of Karak. For those of you who don't know, literally just one of the best Arist RTS like ever. It's so good in terms of design and pacing and just visuals. It's just the complete package. It's a fantastic RTS, which I do also cast, and I was intending to cast a Deserts of Karak game every day. That will be starting moving forward, so the first one will be on Friday, not today. I was just too knackered when I got back from work and I didn't have time to find a replay, but A-Game has packaged up a load of replays for me, so I'm going to be on the Deserts of Karak, bringing you one per day. To be honest, if I had more energy today, I would definitely go and do a game after this. I would just go and get some of the ones that A-Game just sent me and just cast one. But it's coming up to 8 o'clock, and I'm just super knackered. I've been out in the sun for so long today, and I basically just want to fall asleep, like, or, I mean, maybe have a bath first, but yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's the state of play with Deserts of Karak. And I see that there's some Deserts of Karak enthusiasm in chat, and rest assured that though it may not be today, Deserts of Karak will be on the way. Speaking of Deserts of Karak is a game, of course, developed by Blackbird Interactive, a really kick-ass developer and studio. If you don't know their stuff, check them out because they make sick games. One of the sick games that they make is one that I've recently purchased and tried. Now, it is early access, but it's Hard Space Shipbreakers. And instantly, like within the first hour of play, I was immersed in this just glorious little crazy spin-off game that they've made. The premise is ludicrous. I mean, if you describe to somebody like, hey, do you want to play this game? What's it about? Dismantling retired spaceships. Yeah, maybe? I don't know. But in reality, it's super cool, very satisfying, very fun, very zen. It's just all about thinking logically and approaching problems in a systematic way, whilst also mastering the nuances of three-dimensional zero-G navigation and movement, which is any time a game has three-dimensional zero-G controls, I'm instantly into it, because as a young kiddo I came up on the likes of Elite and Descent and like, okay, mainly those two actually. I feel like, Forsaken, and I don't know, I feel like there were more. And I feel very at home in zero-G, which is a weird thing to say for someone who's never literally been there, but I feel very at home. Like, it feels weird to me that when I spin something, it doesn't keep spinning. And it feels weird to me that if I sort of lean back or something, then I stop. And in video games, I get that beautiful experience of being able to apply thrust and then just leave momentum and then just watch my perspective spin. I don't find that makes me seasick. I don't find that makes me nauseous. I just find it's profoundly peaceful. So anyway, Hard Space Shipbreakers is BBI's new child. I was skeptical. I was skeptical. But in the end, I was just like, you know what? If this money goes towards making Homeworld 3, and it does, then take my money. So I did purchase the game in early access, and like I say, I played it for like an hour, and I already think it's one of the most interesting novel ideas to have come into video gaming for some time, and I can see that I'm going to be playing this game quite a lot, because it's just super zen. You just get to chill out in 0G and take apart ships, and it's a form of meditation, and they've realized it beautifully, and it's still in early access. They're planning to do so much more with it and refine it and make it better. So anyway, quick shout out to BBI for being legends. Quick shout out to their new game, Hard Space Shipbreakers, and their old game, or older game, Homeworld Deserts of Karak. All cracking stuff, all brilliant stuff. And for those of you who don't know, we have the prospect in some years of Homeworld 3, and that is going to rock my world. I literally am hoping that I don't die in the next couple of years, specifically so that I can play that game. There's a few other reasons I don't want to die as well, but they're not really worth talking about. So, yeah, like, dude, Homeworld 3 is coming. Like, wah! That's so cool. I'm going to retire from my job and ensconce myself in a life support cocoon so that I can just play that game without moving for, like, a week. Like, that's my plan. So there we go. Aki HQ, you never played a Homeworld game. Jesus Christ. Right, well, mate. What is it about? I mean, loosely speaking, it's a space combat RTS, but it's about so much more. It's about so much more. It has the... It is the only RTS campaign that I have ever felt personally invested in. That I've ever felt emotion for. That I've ever felt like it was a personal journey for me, and that's what Homeworld was for me. It was just insane. It was just insane. Yeah. I'm going to have to talk about the Homeworld campaign some other time, because if I do it here, I mean, we've got a great game between two great players, and we should really focus on that. But Homeworld's deep, man. If you play Homeworld, you'll know. Anyway, that's cryptic. I'm done. I'm done with that. Let's talk about this game. Now, as of the patch a couple of weeks ago, these specialist Tommy squads always come in with 5 men, independently of whether or not you have the 5-man squad upgrade. So Hireling in this game getting some use out of that, relying on the triple assault section, and that is going to be giving him the 5-man Tommies at a much earlier juncture. Now, I wonder if this composition isn't a bit limited and doesn't get countered a bit hard by MGs, because all these Tommies really do want to be rampaging into your opponent's face and getting their work done at that sort of range. Homeworld 1 Mission 3, Datton, it's like you know. God damn. Jesus. Yeah, no, I can't. We can't talk about the Homeworld campaign without spoilers, and it would be unreal to spoil that. C23 Hades with a great precise. I never know how you're supposed to pronounce that word. With a great summary. Yeah, it's about all those things. So, okay, I keep getting distracted. Damn you, chat! Stop being so engaging and cool. This British player is struggling now. Helping Hands is off to a ridiculous start. Just dominating face out here. The 250 half-track is out, and it doesn't appear to be... Oh, we've got one flamethrower half-track and one non-flamethrower half-track. Say, what? Ostripin stuff going to be dropping in here. This is the Ostripin Doctrine drop. You get a pack gun, you get some fuel, you get some munitions. Oh, no, sorry, you get an MG42. You get some fuel. Oh, you do get some fuel and you get some munitions. Okay, cool. So, yep. Ostripin Doctrine doing Ostripin Doctrine stuff. Artillery Field Officer present and correct. Triple Ostripin Squad MG42 with a pack gun means that the UKF army is substantially covered. Now, there is a sniper, and that is actually one thing which, assuming that these half-tracks can't get to him, which they might, that sniper could go well for the British player. The AEC is also going to be quite an asset. As long as he can keep the AEC away from the pack gun, it will be a way of helping to deal with the pack gun, though. Oh, did he hit telemines? Must have hit telemines. Okay, you know what? This game might be over really before I... Yeah, and it's over. Well, Helping Hands as good as I remember. Wow. Well, that was over. Triple ass sections. that sounds bad. Triple ass sections. Houston, thanks very much for tuning in, friend. You can catch the rest on the YouTube if you want. Alternatively, we'll see you next time. Okay. Okay, we've got another hands game on Crossroad Winter. Well, let's jump into that one then. It's really funny, to be honest, actually, because I've been casting this game for years, and I think I've never cast Helping Hands, even though he's one of the most prolific characters in the scene. So it's nice to finally see him out here on the ladder. Wow, he lost on day one of the recent tourney. I mean, he's not doing Company of Heroes 2 as his main thing to the extent that he was. Yeah, like, I mean, not that I really keep up with him, but I understand that he does a lot of other stuff that's not Company of Heroes 2. So I don't know, maybe he's not super in form at the moment. Oh my god, we've got a 4-minute delay. Ah, I didn't see that coming. Man, all right, well, I mean, yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in 4 minutes. I could use a cold drink. I'm going to go and get a cold drink. Man, it's so hot here. Actually, I'm going to go and get my fan as well so that I'm not, like, melting down here. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in 4 minutes. That's at 45 past the hour. I'll see you guys at 45 minutes past the hour. Keep it locked.
ready to deploy.
Thanks very much, guys. I was muted. All right. Good spot, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Just finished McDonald's. C23. Hey, oh, jeez, man. Whereabouts do you live? You don't have to tell me, but are you America or Europe? That's what I'm curious about. Let's do this again. Greetings! What is up, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Let's jump on into this game between Helping Hands and his fresh victim. There we go. That's what you missed while you were muted. US East. Okay, cool, man. Jeez, it's crazy times over there, isn't it? I'm following the news with eager interest. And all that stuff that's happening over there, the ripples are being felt here, man. We've had crazy mad riots in my city. And, of course, the COVID shizzle all going on. So I feel you, man. If the McDonald's were open in my town, I would be half tempted. Not because I like McDonald's, just because I miss going out and I miss fast food. And I miss all the things that make living in a city good. At the moment, it's like living in a city has all the drawbacks, none of the advantages because of COVID. And that's my life. Christ, I would kill for a KFC. I mean, I wouldn't actually kill for a KFC. Well, I mean, I would. I'd kill a chicken for a KFC. And you know what? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna level with you guys. Actually, my girlfriend and I, we both kind of miss KFC, so we decided to make our own at home the other day. Like, well, it was like a week ago now, and damn if it wasn't real good. We did super good. It was like delicious. We had the whole works. We had all the stuff that you would expect in a KFC meal. We made it all ourselves, and it was really cool. It was like the most wholesome fast food experience I think I've ever had. Anyway, enough about that. Helping Hands here, going to be running with the Ostripan 2 for 2 here, going up to 3 squads thereof. Against this new Soviet foe, who's going to be rocking with the Guard Motor Coordination Tactics Commander. I got pig cut-offs and minced it. Oh, geez. No, man. I got, like, super nice, responsibly farmed, corn-fed, organic, local from a butcher around the corner chicken, and we did it that way. I know it's had really bad effects on a lot of things, Datton, and there are many aspects of this whole COVID phenomenon I don't hate as well. It is hastening the end of the fossil fuel industry. It is promoting microbiological and virological awareness in a species that was sorely lacking it. And there are a lot of very interesting and positive things that are coming out of this COVID thing, for sure. Absolutely. But, goddamn, I wish I didn't live in a city for it.
Enemy is taking our territory.
So, okay. It's a conscript-based techless opener, which I feel like Ostripan should be very good against, and I think that's why we sort of see Helping Hands taking good fights and pushing up through the midline of the map. Ostripan are basically conscripts but cheaper, so they kind of have the edge there. Conscripts can do more stuff and they do it better later on in the game as well, but certainly for the right here, right now, I mean, look at Ostripan go. You know, they are trading super well. In fact, I'd be very curious to know what the actual DPS values are. Are Ostripan actually worse than conscripts in any way? I don't know. I actually just don't know. So, yeah, here we are. Here we are in a world... Oh, God! Ooh, get yourself out of there, son! Sunski. Get yourself out of there. Emma Duranke, the restrictions are loosening in the UK next month. Bars are opening. I will not be there. I will not be there. COVID is still so rampant and so rife in my country that I don't know if you knew this, but my first degree, I have a degree in virology and microbiology. That was my first degree. So I cannot have the knowledge that I have in my head about the way these things work and go to a bar when they reopen next month. I just can't do it. I would not enjoy the experience. I would be permanently on edge. I would just be watching everybody transmitting virus to each other, and I would not have a good time. Couldn't do it. So I'm going to entertain myself in loads of other ways. I'm going to have fun with friends in a more safe and responsible way, but I will not be going to the bars when they reopen. Fuck no.
Has been converted to an emergency medical station.
Ostripan scale way worse. Okay, interesting. I had to guess it's Ostripan is slightly worse out of cover and equal or better with the cover bonus. Yeah, that's how it feels, Datton. That is actually how it feels, yeah. Yeah, because talking about this COVID thing just for a moment more, because it's on my mind. The one thing that a lot of people aren't like, yeah, if you're a healthy human and you contract COVID, and it's usually not the end of the world, is it? It's fine. Let's put apart all of the stuff about infecting people who are vulnerable to it, which according to the studies compounding across all the countries affected is like 22%. So more than 1 in 5 people, it is critical if they get infected by COVID. So that's quite a lot of people, really, isn't it? Because they have an underlying condition or something like that. But COVID, the actual virus particle itself, attacks epithelial cells. Epithelial cells are found throughout the body. So when people say it's a respiratory virus, they're wrong. When people say it's a cardiovascular virus, they're wrong. It's neither of those things. It attacks epithelial cells. And epithelial cells are present in both of those systems. And others, many others. And of the studies that are being done of people who have had COVID, it seems that if you get COVID, you go on to have a lifetime increased risk. And I know it's early days, so it's a bit precocious perhaps to say lifetime, but you go on to have a seriously increased risk of kidney disease, kidney failure, liver disease, liver failure, heart problems, all this stuff. Because COVID attacks and weakens those systems and it leaves you with permanent damage in them. So like, if you are gung-ho about going out and getting COVID and it's just going to be like the flu for you, it's like, yeah, it might feel like the flu, but you're going on to have a lifetime increased risk of like several things that I would rather avoid. So like, I'm going to make my decision, everyone else can make theirs, whatever. Alright, I'm done talking about COVID now. Anyway, so yeah, Artillery Field Officer. This is like the 2 out of 2 games now where Hans has done this. And it's looking good. So support weapon Campanile comes down. I think a Maxim, I'm Mr. Maxim these days, but I think a Maxim will really help control these numerous and cheap and effective German units here. Which, like, we've got the Hanomag half-track also here now, so no sign of flame projectors. The munitions are there, so clearly Hans is favouring, as we saw in the last game, having at least 1 half-track. Look at this, see, he's going to immediately pull it on over to this squad that needs help, start reinforcing it. That turns the fight. The MG42 pretty much turned the fight, but this enables this squad to stay and keep pushing, and that's value. That is value. So that's pretty cool. Conscript's going to be doing their best here, but they are outnumbered, outgunned, and outmatched, and Rotmistra's Pilexi, that is a hell of a screen name, sir. I'm just going to call him RP. RP here doesn't actually have the manpower to buy squads, and that's rough. Oh wow, it's because he's gone for a Tank of V Battalion Command. Okay, so we're going to go for a T-70 to get ourselves out from under this. Okay, I don't hate this, actually. I think this is pretty smart. How much manpower is a T-70 though? Because he doesn't quite have enough, and I'm worried that Hans is going to get the pack gun on the queue like any second now, and it does have to be a pack gun on the queue. So a T-70 is 260 manpower. Okay, so we can get the T-70 on the queue. So this is going to work out. This is going to work out. So, okay, it does look like a Polish name, doesn't it, A-Game? Does look like a Polish game. There are a lot of Fausts and munition. Yeah, this is my point of contention. Nice cut off here. This is my point of contention about Ostripan at the moment, is that I think that they're so strong just on their own right, in terms of just their DPS and their field presence, and they're providing something to Wehrmacht that Wehrmacht just don't really get normally. I think that they're so strong that they shouldn't have such easy access to Fausts. I don't really know how otherwise to limit the access to Fausts, and I'm not saying that they should never get Fausts, but it seems weird to me that a 200 manpower squad kind of gets Fausts for free. I mean, I know it's not free, I know it's Battle Phase 1, but you're going to get Battle Phase 1 anyway, and then all your Ostripan have Fausts. And then they are as good, if not better, against vehicles than Grenadiers. So, like, that just feels weird to me. I feel like there should be something else to stop them being so epic with their Fausts. It's really the Fausts that feel too much. Everything that else to Ostripan do is just very good, but with the Fausts as well, it's like, okay, these guys are stupid good. Like, Yeah, there we go. They're just gonna. Okay, I mean that was pretty bad by RP. Shouldn't probably have copped that Faust there, but gonna take the Faust to the face. All right. But yeah, I mean with the Faust on top, it's tough. It's tough. Should be vet locked. I agree, Dan. Yeah, that would be an acceptable solution. Yeah, that's quite a smart way of doing it. Another way to do it would be to make their Fausts cost 10 more munitions. I'd be okay with that. Not sure if that has the same effect, but it's just me spitballing at the moment. I'm not an RTS designer, but sometimes I have okay ideas. So yeah, that T70 has a lot of killing to do indeed, man. It's got a lot of killing to do. And Helping Hands, look at this. I mean, just getting off to another good start in this game. Slight victory point ticket advantage, but it's the fuel and the income discrepancy that has been so pronounced this game. Helping Hands skyrocketing in terms of these resources. Just actually limited on manpower right now. Can't quite get Battle Phase 2 and start really looking for good places to spend this fuel just now. But all in good time. We're only 11 minutes into this game. Of course, you'd love to have Battle Phase 2 and a support armor corps coming up, but you cannot have everything. And what Hands does have is 3 squads of Ostropon, an artillery field officer, Panzer Grenadiers with Panzerschrecks, a Hanomag, 2 MG42s, Pioneers with a metal detector and a pack gun, which I think you'll agree at the 11-minute mark ain't so bad. So yeah, this is looking pretty good. Yeah, that's true. Ostropon are so munitions cheap that perhaps increasing the munitions cost on Fausts wouldn't be a good way of limiting it. Yeah, okay, that's a fair point. Yeah, the thing about Mobile Defense Doctrine, though, Hades, is it doesn't give you the Ostropon until later on in the game. So it doesn't let you play this composition, where you go Ostropon with Panzer Grenadiers and MG42 to get you through the first 4 minutes of the game in such strength. Oh, I just missed the T-70 going down. Where did that happen? Oh, I totally missed the T-70 dying, but it died somewhere. So there we go. Yeah, Strommingbird. Hands did take that game. It was like a curb stomping. The British player tried to do something super weird with Lend-Lease, though. It was like 3 or 4 squads of assault Tommies, assault section infantry, and it didn't look hot. Did not look hot. Got countered. So yeah. Guards infantry will be getting mixed into the roster here for RP. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing those infantry hopefully get the DPMGs and then hopefully start cutting down these Struppen. That would be lovely. And if I crack the tack, you can see Hands right now gonna be... I was going to say taking a moment to reinforce and rearm his troops, but that is actually mostly done already because this goddamn Hanomag, actually. Look how good this Hanomag has been this game. I love to see Wehrmacht players doing things that I think of as Wehrmacht, but which Wehrmacht generally don't do. One of the things I think of as Wehrmacht is using the Hanomag to reinforce troops, but we almost never see it. Hands making it look good. We saw Jibba Jabba Jobber make it look good as well in recent times on the channel. Nice grenade! Another thing which I think Wehrmacht players don't do often enough is use the Stug and go for the Brumbar. I think those are two like really spicy things that are criminally underutilized. Those Panzer Grenadiers nearly blow themselves up. Jeez, that was risky. So yeah, he does get mines from the half-track, absolutely. And there are some half-track mines out and about, actually. Where are they? I'm nearly sure I saw some half-track mines lurking somewhere. I can't remember where they were. Perhaps the T-70 died on them. If I was a better caster, I would know these things. But I don't. So... Look at the amount of aggression. Look at the positioning on this Hanomag half track as well. He's just keeping it perfectly behind, and like almost no amount of conscripts will beat these Ostropon because they are reinforcing in the fight. And that is so much value. It's so much momentum. I've said it before on the channel, and I don't want to end up repeating myself every cast, but I feel like Company of Heroes 2 was designed around reinforcing half-tracks, and then they were kind of never really as viable as they were meant to be, as the design sort of intent was. And so I'm really glad that under the community balance team and some of the changes to this unit, wow, he puts the flame projectors on it at this crucial moment. Oh no, conscripts on the chopping block, the fallback comes down, but is it too late? The Hanomag can overrun. It's not going to. Guards are going to come across, but they get too close. Risky. They're going to use the PTRSs to slap the Hanomag a bit. And RP is stabilizing, 373 tickets-ish, and the resource differential getting a lot closer. In fact, actually, in RP's favor for now. So, this Soviet player definitely keeping up for the time being, making the adjustments that need to be made, and the Soviet army is getting to the point now where it has the sophistication to deal with this. The Zis gun ought to get the kill here. What the? This gun! My god. Somebody needs to... Can we reload this thing a bit faster, please? That seemed like there was plenty of time for another shot there, and it just didn't come through. Did he move it? I feel like he must have moved it or something off camera. So, the late flamer transition is interesting, Strumming Bird, and I'm not convinced about it, to be honest. I feel like he's just shut down one of his coolest units and turned it into an early game unit right when we're kind of leaving the phase of the game where those units are at their most patent, because like already the counters are already out really for that flame half track now, so I just feel like it's a much more limited unit now. But Hans probably has a good idea about why he did that, and I'm probably missing it. There's probably really good reasons for doing it, I don't know. Yeah, he picked the Zis up because he expected the half track to move. And then the half-track didn't move, so I guess it was kind of a double bluff-ish. This gun crew is in for a visit from the NKVD. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. So a moment of relative calm and quiet here as Hans's units move back out onto the map. And the guards continue to look strong. They get caught under the arc of the MG42, but they should actually be able to push through, and they will. These conscripts could rush in, but it looks like they're preoccupied capturing a point, but I would love it if these conscripts actually came forward to help out here. Flame projector half-track is now repaired, and these guards will have to GTFO. That's too much damage. And they are under the arc of the MG. They get some PTRS rounds into the half-track. I grant you that that's good. Come on, guards, we need to run now. Hey, RP, what are we doing? Oh no, the guards! RP! Oh, he leaves that so late, because now Hans could overrun. Okay, you're not going to overrun. Even Ostrippen on the fallback path here is a bit dangerous. The Zis gun is kind of exposed as well. It takes a flump, but it's actually not going to come through, so a bit of a waste of munitions there. Munitions which we can ill afford to waste as well. So that's pretty rough. And Soviet forces struggling to maintain control of 1 VP and 1 fuel, but just about maintaining it. The cutoff here with this MG42 is great. The double MG42 is great. The composition from Hans is great. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say great a lot. I love this composition, and it's not a Hans thing. This is not Hans as like the author of this composition. I just think triple Ostrippen, double MG Panzergren is a solid foundation, and we've got all the trimmings that we need. We have that pack gun. We've got a little bonus funsy unit, the little one-of artillery officer here. In MTG, we call that the fun of. And it is just fun to spice things up and just have a bit of a laugh with a sort of super out there atypical unit with some interesting abilities on it. Like, definitely throw in the fun of artillery officer. And now we've got a Panzer IV finishing up in a very, actually not super timely fashion. This is an 18-minute Panzer IV, not the best. And mechanized armor Campanier is done here for RP. So that's... There is actually a lot of money for this. He could buy an Su-85. That would be a pretty out there choice, but there is a flame half-track, and he's going to scout the Panzer IV in just a second. So, that is interesting. Oh, actually, also has the option of the T-34-85, so that's also interesting too. It is going to be a T-34-85, right? Yeah, that one's got the bump on the back. I'm pretty sure that's an 85. In fact, yeah, based on the... That is an 85, isn't it? Yeah, okay, he's buying an 85. Cool. Alright. I think this will match up just fine. This will do just fine. Oh god, this flame half-track is doing flame half-track things. Loving it. Oh no, conscripts, get out of the cover! Oh, oh god. RP doing a fine job of actually not losing any units. It's difficult. Hans has been doing nasty things, and... Oh god, now this Panzer IV is just going to swing in and start just lawnmowering Soviet geezers. Anti-vehicle grenades are all good and well, but like, they're not going to be enough. The Zis gun tracks to just a split second too late. Gets a shot, but it's not really a very good one. Now these conscripts are on death's door. RP, man, come on. Oh no, we're going to have a squad wipe at last. RP lets one of the conscript squads fall through the cracks there. And the T-34-85 desperately kiting. It's going to get Fausted. Oh, God. Are you for real? Oh, man. There was no need for that to get Fausted. That's a bit rough. And now the Pat gun actually acquires the T-34. Oh no, and the Flame Half-Track comes in from a crucial angle to get the Zis gun. With no Zis gun, the Panzer IV can come in. And a Panzer IV can come in against a T-34-85 on half health with a broken engine. That doesn't sound good for the Soviet player. Go! Conscript squad as well on negative cover. That is almost certain to be a wipe. Actually, no, the Panzer IV is going to prioritize the Soviet medium as well it should. And that is also a brutal unit to be losing. Did he pick up those conscripts? Oh god, he did. What? Oh god, and that's game.
Another vessel has been lost in the defense of the Rodina.
Boof. I mean that is a convincing game there. Wow, RP was looking really good until that first unit of conscripts went down here, and then it was like, and then like Hans. You could see the pieces coming together there so nicely. Like, you know, the Flame Half-Track, you know, the Zis gun turns to face the Panzer IV, and then the Flame Half-Track pokes in, gets the Zis gun. The T-34-85 had no business getting Fausted over there, so I think that was a bit of inattention, bit of bad luck there for RP. Because if that T-34-85 isn't Fausted, then maybe it doesn't get clipped by the Pat gun. And if it isn't Fausted and clipped by the Pat gun, then maybe it's okay and in a decent shape where it can actually take a fight or at least hold off a Panzer IV. But at half health with a busted engine, yeah, the Panzer IV will take that. And, oh my god, the wheels just, like, ejected off rapidly. That went from absolutely fine to over in, like, 25 seconds. And that's really rare for a game of Company of Heroes 2. That is really rare. So there we go. Wow. Out of 2 games there, cast from Helping Hands, looking pretty strong in them both, as I would expect. So that's good to see. For all Creative Name was saying that he was kicked out of a tournament, you know, day one and things like that. And that happens. That does happen. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's not one of the stronger players, and certainly one of the more storied characters from throughout the game's history. And it is nice to catch a couple of games from Hands in the wild here. It's rare that I get to see him play, so that's nice to see. It's nice to see he's looking strong at the moment. So yes, I think that's going to conclude it for today's stream. Because I'm super knackered, and we've cast a good clutch of games there, but I am unfortunately super knackered. It's been a really long day of working in the sun, which I don't regret. But that's the way it is. There we go. So, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in chat. Really appreciate it. We've had another great day of great chat. Everybody chipping in with interesting, relevant, and great points. I've really appreciated it. I'll be casting on Friday, 1700 hours GMT. And thank you very much, A-Game Anks, once again, for putting together that replay package in Deserts of Karak for me. So at the end of Friday's cast, we can have a Deserts of Karak game. I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, thanks very much, everybody. I'm gonna raid. Raid. Oops. There we go. Gonna raid Helping Hands because we just casted games and I found them very entertaining. So yeah, thank you very much for watching once again. I will see you all on Friday. And this for now, Magpie 842 signing out.